Boys, it is finally time. If you haven't been sleeping under a rock, you would know the official Bloxfruits YouTube channel, Gamer Robot, released the Kitsune fruit trailer. Not only did they release the Kitsune fruit, but they released a bunch of other things with it, such as a brand new sword, 2 new accessories, and a special event and new island only for the 3rd sea. If that's not exciting enough, they officially finally said when it's gonna come out, the release date, which of course I will be covering everything I mentioned in this video. So if you want to know when the Kitsune fruit officially comes out to the servers, go ahead and continue watching this video. But first things first, I want to show you guys how insane the Kitsune fruit is. Keep in mind, it is also going to be the most expensive fruit ever in Bloxfruits. More expensive than leopard fruit. But I mean, who could blame them? Take a look at this. Look at how insane this fruit looks just from this little showcase, this little preview right here. Just look at this. They are nuking players and stuff like that. But keep in mind, we're not going to focus just on the abilities and how they look. We are going to be breaking down every little detail that everybody has possibly overlooked. So that way, when you know the Kitsune fruit comes out, you know more than the average player. So with that being said, take a look at this first part in the video. I paused it right here on the frame, but take a look at the abilities, the Kitsune fruit here, and all the names of the abilities. Do you guys remember any of these names? Do they look familiar to you? If it doesn't, maybe this picture might ring a bell. This was a leak that happened months and months ago. So this is literally the same ability that they predicted. So this is crazy. We talked about this a while ago. The Z ability is the same Z ability as it was here. The Foxfire Disruption's the same ability here. They did rename the Claws of Burning Agony to Tails of Burning Agony, but everything here was pretty accurate. The only thing I would say is a little off is the cost of this fruit. They did raise the cost a little bit, but we do know a lot more than the average person with this now. But not only that, we're gonna break down how these abilities work and how they're overpowered or how they're weak. So the first things first is in human form, they only have 3 tails. And just from this little clip alone, it looks like it works in a rage meter. So as you can see, there's a light blue shade right here, which determines how much you have charged up in your tails. And there's this dark blue, which is like the maximum capacity. When you have it charged up all the way, it does this rainbow effect, which means you could probably transform. And when you use an ability, it costs some of that tails. So if you don't know where I'm getting at, or you're just thinking, man, this guy's yapping a whole bunch of nothing, well, let me dumb it down. Let me simplify it. Basically, the way the Kitsune fruit is the exact same way the shadow fruit works. But from the looks of it, they actually changed it and modified it a little bit different for the Kitsune. So if we take a look over here at the shadow fruit, I have an umbra meter that slowly goes up. With the Kitsune fruit, I don't know if it moves or if it doesn't move at all, but if you use the shadow fruit and you hit an NPC or player, this umbra meter goes up really fast. So let me go ahead and beat up this NPC here. Let me do the Z ability and take a look at that umbra meter as I hit him. It jumps up a big portion. Now if I do the C ability, it will charge it fully like that, which means you have to use abilities in order to charge up your tails using the Kitsune fruit. But I also did notice a little secret with the Kitsune fruit that I don't think anybody else noticed. If you take a look at the tail bar right here, it charges and it goes up and goes down. As it uses abilities, it costs some tails. So let me show you what I mean. He hits the opponent with an ability, and if he hits him, it charges it up. But if he uses it and misses, it goes down. For example, let's go ahead and see if he misses an ability here, and he does, but he gets some more damage off and it goes back up. The Kitsune fruit works very differently from the shadow fruit and every other fruit, but it does share similarities. With the shadow fruit, if you miss an ability, it doesn't take away from your umbra meter. Like if I go ahead and use my X ability, it doesn't do anything. I still have a full bar. If you miss an ability with the Kitsune fruit, you go down in umbra meter or tails, I guess. But that brings me to my next point. I noticed throughout the entire trailer, the tails never went up past 3. So if we go ahead and take a look here, as expected, he has to wait till his bar is changing color so he could transform. He's at max 3 tails and now he's allowed to transform. And as you can tell, he is rapidly decreasing in tails. He's transformed just like when you have dragon fruit equipped or something like that. Your tails go down or your fury. But here I noticed a little special detail. As you can see, he is paused right here. He doesn't lose any more tails until he starts spamming abilities. Take a look now. He's going to go ahead and just move around, and then as soon as he starts spamming abilities right there, he goes down and down and down. He's going to go ahead and drop to 2 tails now, as you can see. So from the looks of it, it looks like from the Kitsune fruit, I think you only max out at 3 tails, and then he drops down to 1 tail. The only way to charge up your tails is by dealing damage, and if you miss your abilities, you sacrifice your tails, which is really bad, which means that you might not be able to transform, or you get kicked out of transformation, or you don't deal enough damage anymore. Just a bunch of different things we don't know perfectly yet. Now this right here isn't much of a secret, but I wanted to show it. This is by far my most favorite ability, possibly in all of Bloxfruits. Look at how amazing this looks. He's gonna go ahead and use the X ability here with the Kitsune fruit. Look at that animation, and it summons tails on the floor. That's why it's called Tales of Burning Agony. I mean, just look at that. That looks crazy. And of course, every time he uses it, his tail power goes down, but as soon as he lands it, it goes all the way back up. But that's enough yapping about the Kitsune fruit. Let's talk about the other important details that happened in this trailer. I feel like you guys just had to know specifically about the tails, that I think the tails only max out at 3, and that it was a brand new system that's probably going to be added to the game. Like, no other beast fruit has the Kitsune fruit system. But now, let's talk about the sword, the fox lamp. If we take a look here, it looks really cool. It gives off sanguine art vibes right here. Once he releases the ability and all those slashes that come in to attack him, that gives me sanguine art vibes. Looks really cool. But probably my most favorite part of this sword is the X ability. What we're looking at here is the Z ability. If we go ahead and wait for the X ability right now, it is by far a lot cooler to me. This has like a flamethrower with a dash built in. Let's go ahead and show you guys. It's like a stun, and then at the end of it, he will have a dash. Take a look. If you let the full thing go, he can dash. As you can see, he's using a flamethrower with like a dash built into it. It's so cool looking. I don't even know how he does that, but that's like a perfect combo potential right there. You go ahead and do that, do a dash, and then God Human Z ability. That's like a perfect easy combo. So yeah, the sword looks pretty cool, but there's not much detail to know about it just yet. Now let's take a look at the accessories. We got the Kitsune ribbon right here, which is a back looking piece. It's a ribbon right on his butt where the tail is coming out of, but I don't know. I'm not too much of a fan of the ribbon. It might have some good stats, but we don't know anything about it yet. My most favorite accessory is gonna have to be the Kitsune mask, which is gonna show you right here. This looks a lot cooler. It looks a little weird on his avatar right now, but it does look like a really cool piece. And right behind him is the brand new island special event. Let's pause here real quick. Right here, we can see he's in danger zone 6, which means, do you guys remember when you had to go find the Leviathan island and all that stuff? It seems like you might only be able to find this in danger zone 6, kind of the same way you had to find Leviathan. So keep that in mind, boys. We are breaking down every single little detail here in this trailer. When the update happens, be sure to be in zone 6 if you're looking for this island. And of course, remember, it's only for 3rd C players. So if you're not in the 3rd C yet, I highly recommend you no life and play this game until you get there. But now it's time for the biggest question and answer you guys have been waiting for this entire video. I know, calm down. You guys are sitting there wondering, Number, when is the update happening? Well, I got you, bro. It was actually right in the trailer. If you didn't see it, don't worry, because you actually had to read it down below. If we go ahead and zoom out of this real quick and scroll down to the description, we click here. It says update release date, Thursday 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Friday 9 a.m. Indochina time. So let me know down below, boys. Are you guys excited for the Kitsune fruit like I am? It's literally around the corner. If you made it this far in the video, you are a huge W. Not only that, but you probably know more than the average player does about the Kitsune fruit before it even comes out. So you guys are going to be ahead of the game. You're probably a returning subscriber, but if you're not and you're a new person, go ahead and subscribe. It's free and you're a part of the Skull Squad. What more can you want from me? Not only that, but you get cool access to teasers and leaks like this. Shout out to whoever made this again. It says right down here, created by these guys and assisted by somebody else. This was so close to being perfectly spot on to the Kitsune fruit months before it's even released. I don't know how they got this done like this, but it was amazing, guys. So with that being said, shout out to the Bloxfruits team. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody. This is insane, boys. I am hyped. That being said, though, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget, click on one of these videos on screen. YouTube says you might actually enjoy it. Peace.